All right, back on our Friday, as always, with our guy Victor how to talk injuries, and we could have an entire show based off just last night's game. Right. Everybody in that Thursday night game between the Bengals and the Ravens got hurt at one point or another.
Yep.
Insane. Let me start with the Mark Andrews thing, because he was the latest victim of one of these hip drop tackles where his leg gets caught under the tackle, injures an ankle, immediately he was in trouble. You know, they're calling for the stretcher, et cetera, on the field. And it came out pretty quickly that it looks like he's done for the year.
Yep.
They were just sort of calling it, an ankle injury. People were saying high ankle at the time. What has to have happened to his ankle for them to be saying on November the 17th that he's done for the year?
Right. So the fact that actually came out so fast tells you that there is significant damage there. He got an x-ray right at the game in stadium. Hasn't had the report sent out, at least from my knowledge yet, about what the x-ray results are. But even then, you know that there's some ligamentous tearing. So that might mean surgical approach to reattach some of those ligaments in the ankle. If not, it's just the fact that the severity of this high ankle sprain was so significant and enough tearing that he's just not gonna try to attempt to come back. It could be something where they do like a tightrope surgery in the ankle to reattach and resecure some of those ligaments, or if there is a fracture involved, then he's gonna be in a boot and he won't even be able to return this season. So they did come out pretty fast and say that, so it tells me that it's definitely on the more severe side. I just don't know to the extent of what happened.
Right. And his reaction at the time was severe,
Yes.
relative to some of these, an ankle injury. I'm sure it hurts, those high ankle sprains, but they don't react the way he did when he went down, was immediately in intense pain.
Yeah.
That suggests something major happened.
He knew something significant happened, and he's been known to battle through injuries too, so the fact that he was in that much pain and pretty much ruled out instantly, we can kind of guarantee that there is some more damage than just a traditional ankle sprain.
Okay, probably the biggest injury in the game, Joe Burrow and his hand/wrist.
Yep.
What was going on there? Because this was not an injury that anybody knew about heading into the game, other than the fact that they captured video of him wearing this weird brace, sleeve, whatever it was, on his wrist coming off the plane. And then obviously at some point during the game, he just couldn't throw the ball anymore.
Right. He definitely had a brace pregame, and even watching some of the film of him pregame, he didn't really show a lot with that right arm until he started warming up. And when I look at that, initially I thought that there could be some type of nerve injury involved, and that still can be the case. But it kind of looks like what we call like a TFCC. It's a triangular fibrocartilage complex, and that's like a sheath that attaches on your wrist. And if that tore, that's not good news. What's going to end up happening is he's going to get a lot of swelling, a lot of inflammation in the wrist. It could have happened previously and got some damage, and then this is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. But if that does happen, he's going to require what they call a scope surgery for his wrist, and then he can make it back for the season, but that would definitely put a timetable of a few weeks on at least if that was the injury. He's going to have an MRI on Monday, so we're going to figure out more information then. But as of now, I'm leaning towards that, which is a little bit more severe than just a traditional wrist sprain, as they're kind of calling it right now.
And they showed a picture of his hand at one point, which looked really swollen.
Yes.
It didn't look in good shape.
Not good shape, yeah. As soon as you saw that, you knew that there was more damage than just like a traditional sprain. Now, it could be a severe sprain, and the fact that he couldn't hold on to the ball could be related to his nerves, like his ulnar nerve not being able to grip. But I think based off of just seeing what I saw after, I think that he probably has more of that cartilage tear, which might end up requiring surgery if it's severe enough.
And either way, they're at the point of the season where they're in such a hole that, if he misses a couple of games and they lose both of them, it's almost not worth bringing him back at that point, because you're done. They have no margin for error at this point, and if there's error, their season's over.
Yep. If they beat the Ravens, they were above a 50% chance to make the playoffs, and now they're at 21, 22%, something like that. So It's going to be a tough hill to climb. I hope that he makes it back for the season and that they're in a spot for contention, but if not, it might be wise for them to hold him out.